Alright, let's try to take a trade here on a crossover. We're going to do a 1-to-7 ratio this morning. We're doing a 25 simple versus a 175 simple. 1-to-7 ratio, somewhat inspired by Bill Williams on his awesome oscillator and accelerator oscillator. We're doing 15-second candles and 15-second expiry. And we're going to look for a pullback after the crossover. Hopefully we'll get one. Start buying slowly on the crossover here. We're only going to buy if it pulls back. And it looked like our screen froze, but it's just being pretty jumpy today and mechanical. So that could be a good thing. So the first trade went through, and we're at a 92% payout. We bought on that little dip back, and we did get the second one. As you can see, the market's a little bit jittery, but of course this is OTC Tron, but actually it's pushing through pretty well. So the time right now is about 6:47 a.m. Central Standard Time. This is a Monday morning, August 5 of 2024. Alright, so that's a nice little strategy. I am on the demo account right now, and so we're just testing some different things. We decided to move to the 15-second time frame. I do trade on really low time frames. A lot of these were 5-second trades over here, and I was doing 15-second expiry on some of those, but we're trying to just get a good crossover point and then buy if it pushes against us a little bit. So this trade over here probably wouldn't have been good at all. This one, this trade here could have been, yeah, it was probably a nice trade. So we just did this trade here. We got a successful outcome. So let's back test 10 of these. This would have been good. That's 1-0, 2-0. This one would have been bad. That would be 2-1. Let's take off the auto scroll so we can move back and do a little bit of our own back testing analysis. So far we have 1 win, 2 wins, a loss, 2-1. Right here, let's look at this. We do have an opportunity on the pullback here, so I'm going to count that as a win, because we would buy after the push through would have been at the end of this candle. Probably we would have started to buy here, hopefully slowly, and then it would have pushed back our way here, so we could have picked up some wins. So we'll count that as a win. So that's 3-1 right here. It did push down pretty hard, but it did end up going our direction after this candle if we bought in slowly, and then and trusted the crossover. So we're going to count that as a win as well. 4-1. This one looks like 5-1 is a win. Now here, let's see what we have going on here. 5-1 so far. This one we got the push through, then we got to pull back, and this says it was green, but that's kind of iffy, so I'm going to count that as a loss. So 5-2. Right here, we did get green, and then we had a pretty strong push through the other way, so maybe 6-3. I'm losing track of my count. And let's do one more. We'll go back and double check, and let's do one more here. I think we're at 6-3, and then we got a crossover here. Green, red, red, but then it did turn green. I might count that as a win. You just would have to buy in very slowly for 30 seconds. You would probably lose a lot here, and hopefully if you did Martingale, you would get it back here. So 7-3. So we're looking at 70%. Let's look at it one more time. Let's go the same direction that we just went. Alright, so you do have the capacity to lose a lot on those, but also to gain a lot, and with a possible 70% chance, but you would have to keep buying multiple buys. and wait for the push through. Alright, well, I think we'll just leave it there, but we'll check this one more time. 1 win, 2 wins, 2 win, 1 on a loss, 3 and 1, 4 and 1, 5 and 1. We counted this as a loss over here because it pushed pretty hard this way for a long time. 5 and 1, so it's 5 and 2. This one, I think we might count this one as a win. So 6 and 2, 6 and 2. Yeah, that's where we lost it last time. Our track. 6 and 2. 7 and 2, I'm going to count that as a win. Let's do one more to get our count right this time. And this is a really nice win here, so I'm going to say 8 and 2. So I think our real numbers are 80%, at least on 10. Alright, so you can always back test those yourself, but the problem, of course, in these losses is that you want to try to regain on your Martingale strategy by buying more. Then it doesn't always go in your favor. So you have to have a way to get out, which I don't always have a good way to get out. But you have to notice the momentum, and you have to notice the market structure as well. So what happened here on this bad trade right here, this is a good one over here. But this one, what happened is it came down, well, actually, I don't know, you could have possibly won on this red candle, so that you might can count that as a win. But then once you see it push, and then you see this gap and another gap, then you know you don't need to buy down at this point after this first gap. If you're gonna buy anything, you need to start buying up right here. And then there was a big push, so you had a gap and a gap. So anytime we see gaps, that's showing some strong market pressure, at least for a little bit. Like this down gap here, if you can catch this, then that could count as a win. Okay, so I think we're looking at 80%, and we just took 2 trades on this one over here at 15-second candles, and we won those 2 right there. Okay, have a great day. Y'all have a beautiful week, and hopefully we'll catch you on the other side.